Hello, everyone, and welcome to another business intelligence tip. Today, we're going to be talking about a SQL process of calculating a moving/rolling average. Now, you probably don't need to use it real often, but when you do, this technique can become very helpful. Prior to using this method, it involved a lot of pre-calculating temp tables and other things, but with the new functionality in SQL over the last few years, it's been much easier to add these types of calculations. So I'm going to go on over here and go to my other screen, which I have started up a basic query for you. And so in here, what I'm showing you is I created a query where I have a simple select statement. And in this select statement, I am selecting a period end date and an amount from a table. And it's general ledger data. So it's just showing me a calculated amount for a particular account and year in my organization. And I ordered it by period end date just so you could see what that looked like. So nothing too complex. Really, the key to what I'm going to show you, you need a date field and you need some kind of KPI or amount or some other type of aggregated amount that you want to work with to do that. So we have that. So now I'm going to start layering in some different things to this. Now, the first thing I'm going to layer in is how do you add an average to this? So I'm going to create, I've got one to save on typing. I typed it ahead of time. I'm going to copy it from over here and paste it in so that you can see it here. What I created was an average item. Now, if I would just have average here, if you're familiar with that, it would give me the average amount that I'd have to create a group by on that. But with this function called over, I can say create the average amount over, ordering it by period end date, any rows between two preceding and the current row. So what it's going to do is take the current month and the two preceding months and average those. And I'm going to call that my 3-month average. So if I execute this, I have my amount, which it gives me just that one because it's the very first one. The next one is going to give me half of it because there's nothing there. The third month is the third of that, and then so forth. It's just going to start averaging out the various amounts that are in here. So for the preceding months. So we're going to go from there with that. Now, what if you want to do some additional slicing of the data up rather than just the total for the amount for the period end date? Sometimes maybe I want it not just for account 1001, but I want it for all accounts. So if I take this out of the where clause here and I just kind of run that, I'm going to get this kind of big hodgepodge. It's somewhat confusing. So the minute that I'm going down and not getting down to an individual item, I need to add in one more level of complexity, and that is I need to then say to what level am I breaking this out by? I'm going to break it out by account in there, and then down here in this over clause, rather than just saying order by, I now need to say, how am I going to group that, or what is referred to as a partition? So I'm going to partition this by account. So I'm just going to say the fields up above I want to list it as, and then down here I have to list the fields again to kind of group it. So now if I run this, and right now it's ordering it by period end date, showing me all the accounts, or I could really order it by here, anything that I want. So I could say I want to see it by account and then each period end date. So now it's account 1001, all those rolling averages, 1002, each account just kind of goes in order after that. So to do a simple rolling average, you can just use this order by. Now this can be anything from I want the previous 4 months to the current row. So that'll be 5 months. This would be labeled wrong, but it would be a 5-month average at that point. So very simple calculation to do an average that rolls over time. You can do other things that way as well, but the most common use is an average rather than a sum for that. So hopefully you found today's session helpful. If you do have any suggestions in the future, As always, feel free to email them to suggestion or to info@dashboardgear.com, and we'll be happy to help you out with whatever you have. So until the next time, I'm going to not be on next week. I have a personal day next week. So in a couple weeks, I'll be back to it and sharing with you another business intelligence tip. Enjoy your weekend.